Hi, I'm Tammy Mastroberte, founder of Elevated Existence and publisher and editorial director of the award-winning Elevated Existence magazine. Welcome to part 4 of how to create an elevated new year. I can't believe we made it. At this point, we're very close to the new year, so hopefully you've been following along with me in the videos. If not, they're all still available, so you can go back. It's not too late. And be sure to download, if you have not already, the workbook that goes along with these videos. Because even if you missed all of them, you can read through the workbook and do all the quick exercises and catch up. And that is at elevatedexistence.com/new year. And again, that link should be either below this or above the video, depending on where you're watching. So, we have gone through the first 3 parts. We've taken inventory. We've decided exactly what we wanted to create. We've created the visualizations that we want. Now we are at the point where we are bringing the spiritual and elevated new year into the overall picture. I want you to know that no matter what you're trying to achieve in your life, no matter what you're trying to create, no matter what you're trying to heal, what you're trying to fix, what you're trying to attract, it all goes back to how connected and aligned you are with spirit, how elevated you are, and is that connection and alignment there? It always goes back to how you're feeling and if you're feeling good, because the better that you're feeling, the more elevated you are, the more connected you are. But in addition to everything that we've done and deciding what we wanted to create and in creating the visualizations that we're going to use throughout the year, at this point, I want you to commit to making your spiritual connection, your connection to source, to spirit, to God, to whatever you call it, to the universe, a top priority for you this year. So all you have to do is I'm going to give you some options, and I want you to pick at least one to commit to doing each day throughout the year. It's very simple, but it's about maintaining that connection to bring everything else into place, to have everything else fall into alignment in your life. So, how can you make that commitment? How can you decide to make this a priority? I'm going to give you some options and see what resonates with you. Try one or more, and just know that you need to find some way to make maintaining your spiritual connection an important part of your life. Now, one of the options you can do, and you've probably heard it a million times before, is learn or commit to practicing some type of meditation. Now, I've done whole videos on this before. You can go to the YouTube and find out all the different videos that I've done on types of meditation, the way that you can meditate. The whole point of meditation in what I'm talking about here is reconnecting and realigning yourself, boosting your vibration, calming down your nerves, rewiring your brain. There's so many aspects and benefits to it. I'm focusing on your connection to spirit and your alignment with your source, because that is key to it all. So, if sitting down and meditating for 10, 15, 20 minutes a day is something that you can commit to or that you really want to commit to, or maybe you've done in the past and you'd like to get back to it, or maybe you do it already, that's fantastic. There are other options for you, and I like some of these options in addition to that 20-minute time because I feel like it allows you to give yourself a boost during the day, kind of elevate yourself as you go throughout your day. So one of the options that I've talked about before, and there's been scientific research that these options work just as well as those long meditation periods, would be to commit to reconnecting and doing some sort of meditation 3 times a day for 3 minutes each time. Dina Proctor is an author and a coach. She created this method for herself years ago when she was actually recovering from alcoholism and could not sit for longer than 3 minutes. And so what you have to do is you can either follow your breath for 3 minutes, you can create a mantra. I always like to say, I am connected, I am love, all is well, I am safe. You can repeat only one of those things. You can repeat the word release over and over to kind of key and cue in your body to release the stress and release the negative thoughts. But do that for 3 minutes 3 times a day. It could be when you wake up in the morning, when you go to bed at night, or when you at some point in the evening or at some point in the afternoon. But commit to 3 minutes 3 times a day. You can even set an alarm on your phone. The other option is to do it 1 minute every hour. And there's been a ton of research on this as well. There's even mindfulness bells you can download onto your phone or onto your computer that will go off at the top of every hour to remind you to just take 60 seconds and sit and reconnect. And again, repeat the mantra, follow the breath, whatever it is that feels comfortable for you, knowing that in that time you are realigning with source, you are realigning with spirit, and you're elevating yourself. Another thing is you can use what psychology calls kind of mental cues or mental triggers. So every time you do a certain thing, you take that minute, you take 60 seconds to kind of check in again. So maybe every time you leave the house, every time you sit down anywhere, every time you get in and out of the car. I do it sometimes, I love to do every time I check the time. Like, how many times a day do we check the time? So I say you check the time, you check in with spirit, and you just take those 60 seconds. It makes a big difference. And you'll notice it after you take those 60 seconds or those 3 minutes or whatever it is that you choose to do. You will notice that whatever you're then going to do after that, it feels better. It feels easier. You're calmer. You're clearer. It's a completely different feeling than kind of that frazzled chaos that I think so many of us get caught up in, especially during the holiday season, but anytime throughout the year. So there's all these different options. You can also start a gratitude journal. That alone is going to reconnect you to spirit, and doing that once a day or twice a day. There's so many different ways that and practices that you can do to nurture your spiritual connection. Taking yoga classes. Yoga classes are totally about mind-body connection and spirit as well. They end it with a meditation or savasana, and that's all about kind of calming the body and the mind down and making that and elevating yourself and making that connection. So there's so many different options out there. I want you to pick one. You can try all the different ones and see which one fits. But all that I've been talking about in these videos, about creating an elevated new year, about making 2018 different than it has in the past. You want to not just make a resolution or set an intention and forget about it. And that's what this is about. This is about really finding change in your life and creating a year that you never even maybe thought possible before. And you deserve it. And everything that I've taught, it only takes moments to try and, sit down and do it. And all the work that we've been doing is now going to allow you to just take your few minutes a day to enact everything that you kind of set up already. So what I want you to do again is to remember to download the workbook that goes with all of this, because you don't have to remember everything that I've told you in all these videos. I've written it all out and I've provided spaces for you. So elevatedexistence.com/new year. And in doing that, you will also automatically get access to a live webinar that I'm going to be doing, where I'm going to be doing a Q&A, and I'm going to be doing some maybe visualizations and meditations to sort of get you ready and prepared to take on everything we've done here and move forward into the new year. And even if you haven't done any of it yet, you still have the workbook. You can attend that live session and then take that workbook, get yourself together, and be ready to go into the new year. So I wish you all a beautiful 2018. I hope all of this helped you. Please email me, write comments, let me know what worked and what didn't. Or if you have any questions, be sure to attend that live session, because I will take them all live. And you'll be up for even more. And I hope that you have a beautiful and elevated year. I know that if you practice some of the things that I told you, you will see different results than you have gotten in the past. And happy elevation to all of you.